When is the best time to get started investing in real estate? Well, to answer that question, let me share with you a quick story. I was corresponding with an economics professor for a leading university in Canada. This must have been about 2 years ago. And he was sharing with me that he had come to the conclusion from all the economic indicators that Canada was going to go into a massive crash. So he waited for that real estate market crash. And he kept waiting, and he kept waiting. At the time of my correspondence, he had been waiting for 8 long years, waiting for a crash that hadn't come yet. And what that meant was he sat on the sidelines during 8 amazing years of real estate investing opportunities. And so the point is, you cannot fall into that trap. I call it the broke know-it-all trap. Stay out of it. If you are smart enough, you can make money in any market conditions. Up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. We've been making money for 20 years, my apprentices and I, whether the market's up, the market's down, no matter what the market's doing. And if you stay on the sidelines, you're wasting valuable time that you could be productive economically in real estate. So stay out of the broke know-it-all trap. So the question is, when is the best time to get started investing in real estate? Answer, as soon as you can, provided you apply the right education, proper techniques at the correct times. I don't want you to jump blindly into anything, but as soon as possible, that's the time to get started, unless you have some personal crisis. Because you need to get started now, because that is just one step closer to you reaching your goals. In fact, I have discovered that it's better to start part-time. I have a video proving that. Starting part-time for beginners is ideal, so don't feel like you need too much time on your hands. If all you have time on your hands to do is watch videos like this, all the better. That way you can get the right education. As you can tell, I have a lot of great videos out there. I have assembled my best along with some other resources. I put it into a video training course on creative real estate investing, which you can get access to absolutely free. And that is over 10 hours. There's a whole lot of resources in there. It's going to take you in-depth, step-by-step, exactly what we do, how we do it. It's the right education. I know some people are saying, oh, but Phil, this is so self-serving. You're trying to make money selling your books and these videos. First of all, this book, How to Be a Real Estate Investor, I give away for free on these videos. Free. And there's also a copy you can get for free in that video course. These YouTube videos have no advertising on them. None. Zero. Zilch. That course, that's free too. So we can put all that aside. I have the right motives here. I'm trying to, in its best way I can, teach you exactly how to be successful in today's market. I'm passionate about it. All right. That's the right education. Proper techniques. What we're applying right now is either the quick in and out flip model, where we're not sitting on a house 6, 8, 10 months. We're getting in, we're getting out in a month or two, because we never know what the market's going to do. And separately, if we're doing rental property, we're focusing on cash flow, which we'll be talking about here a little bit later. So applying the proper techniques, and that is at the correct times, to which we now turn. At any moment in time in the real estate market, it can be the best of times for some, and it can be the worst of times for others. Right now, it's the worst of times for traditional investors. They are getting squeezed from every direction. First, there's such a lack of inventory. There's far fewer foreclosures than there has been in the last 20 years. So with the lack of inventory, they're all fighting for whatever scraps are left. And then they have to compete with some large institutional, what they call iBuyers, that are coming in and buying huge blocks of houses. Being a traditional investor is very tough right now. There's almost no deals out there, and there's a whole lot more traditional investors than there are deals. Now, there's other people that are struggling right now too. If you're a home builder and you're building homes in that upper middle class price point, there's a lot less demand than there is actual supply in most parts of the country. The reason for that is builders are struggling to build homes in affordable price points. It's not just the cost of land. It's things like the cost of materials that have gone up to tariffs and those things. It's situations like more and more government bureaucracy making it more difficult, lengthier, and more expensive to build a home. And perhaps the most expensive problem that exists right now for home builders today, and that is labor costs. We're at very low unemployment rates right now, and there's not a lot of people going into the construction field. Builders are struggling to get quality labor, and they're having to pay through the roof for it. No pun intended. So it's the worst of times if you're one of those builders. It's the worst of times if you're a speculator right now, because if you just simply want to buy a property, sit on it, and then resell it 2 years later, you're probably not going to get the same appreciation rates that we saw the last 6 years. So it could be the worst of times, but it's the best of times for some. For people like us, my apprentices and I, we're crushing it right now because there is an affordable housing crisis in America, and we are capitalizing on that crisis. Let me share with you. In this, I think it was in the last 3 weeks, they did a study on current home buyers in the marketplace in America, and over 50% are looking for a house under $200,000. All right, remember that number, under $200,000. Meanwhile, the median list price of a home in America right now is $300,000. Do you see the gap? Most of the people are looking for houses down in this price point. Most of the homes are up in this price point. It's an affordable housing crisis. So what we're doing is we're focusing our marketing for sellers in that affordable price point range. So we're getting off-market deals, so we don't have the same problem that traditional investors have. We're going after off-market deals. We're getting those locked up. A lot of times we're doing creative techniques to give the homeowner even more money, but we're doing it in such a way where we're skipping out on having to deal with hard money lenders and their costs, and skipping out on the risk of paying all cash. And then we're turning around and reselling these properties. Sometimes we fix them up, sometimes we don't. And we have a multiple offer situation almost every single time because we're in that affordable price point. As soon as you get up to a higher price point where there's a lot more inventory right now, that's when you get into trouble. I mean, God forbid you try to do a deal on a McMansion in the Southeast right now. I mean, there's areas where you just got entire neighborhoods that are all up for sale because all the baby boomers are moving out to get into a smaller property, or they're moving to Florida or wherever they're going, and they want to sell their 6-bedroom and nobody's buying. So it can be the worst of times, but it can be the best of times. And for us, it is the absolute best of times. We're absolutely crushing it. We're making a fortune right now, but we know where to focus, and that's so key. Proper techniques at the proper times, and that is affordable housing. That's where all the money's being made right now. Now, you might be asking the question, but Phil, okay, if we're not talking about house flipping, what about real estate investing long term? What about rental income? Good question. I have a video on how you can buy rental property at the top of the market and still win big. Because with rental investing, your time horizon should be forever. And if your time horizon is forever, then your focus should be on cash flow, not on whether it appreciates or not. I don't care if my rental properties go up or down in value. What I care about is how much cash flow they're producing. I have properties that are producing over 50% cash on cash return. And so I don't care what the market does or doesn't do. Look at those returns, right? So what you need to look at is, if you're doing rental property, what is your cash flow? I'm a huge proponent of short-term rentals, vacation rentals, because the cash flow is so huge. In fact, I have a video on that. I have a video on just about every subject at this point. And what I believe is that if you focus on recession-proof areas of the United States, you can have a short-term rental that will last into perpetuity and is going to cash flow like a freight train. And you know what's so exciting too? It's that Airbnb, HomeAway, and TripAdvisor, they're gobbling up more and more of the market share away from the hotels. It's only getting stronger and stronger as a business model. The more people stay in homes, the more they tell their friends, the more they stay in homes, and next thing you know, people are not staying in hotels as much anymore when they travel. They're staying in single-family homes at an Airbnb, HomeAway, TripAdvisor vacation rental. So, whether you're going with house flipping or you're going long-term rental, the best time to get started in real estate is when? As soon as you can. That's right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, put them down below here at the bottom. I try to carve out time out of my schedule to answer those. And if you want to become a first-class, market-leading, money-making machine real estate investor, consider my apprentice program, where my coaching team and I, we work with people hand in hand, and we mentor them and show them exactly how to do, what to do, when to do it. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.